All right, hello everybody. Thank you for watching Through the Garden here. You got me, you got Jordan, you
Here
got
we go.
Alex. Here he is. Welcome, boys. How's it going?
Good.
Hey, good.
All right. Well, we have oodles and boodles to get to tonight, and some things that are certainly happening right now. But we have to start with what we've been waiting for about, I don't know, a year now.
Yeah.
Justin Fields is headed to the Pittsburgh Steelers for a conditional 6th round pick. It has happened. There is no more controversy. There's no wondering who's going to be the starting quarterback of the Chicago Bears. That job now belongs to Caleb Williams, barring something psychotic happening. So,
Which I don't see.
no, I don't see
Same.
it either.
Yeah.
Yeah, every report seems like they love the guy. And I didn't see too much about pro day. I gotta be honest with you. I wasn't super paying attention because at this point, like, what is there to pay attention to?
Keenan Allen
That's
was there.
Yeah.
Keenan Allen was there wearing Bear stuff, which is great. We need to talk about that trade too. But Justin Fields, I have some thoughts, but I want to hear from you guys first. First impressions of the trade. How do you feel about it? How do you feel about the future? Here we go. Bears in March talk.
Yeah. Feel relieved. Relieved in the sense that we finally have an answer at what they're doing at the quarterback position. Also sadness. I'm a big fan of the Bears and the direction they chose with going with Caleb Williams, but I'd be remiss if you don't think back to the 2021 draft and how excited we were when they traded up to get Fields and the exciting plays we've seen over the course of the past 3 years and just that hope we had of it materializing into something successful. But unfortunately, it didn't happen here. Hopefully, it can happen in Pittsburgh.
Well, I have a lot to echo what you just said, Jordan. I mean, I felt the sadness that night, not in the same sense that we felt when the Cubs traded away Anthony Rizzo, Chris Bryant, Javier Baez, or when the Blackhawks traded away Patrick Kane, because we were sad that the remnants of a championship era was leaving. This was not the case with Justin Fields. But to what you just said, the hope, the joy we felt in 2021 when the Bears traded up to get Justin Fields, that was the most hype any of us ever were for a quarterback, more than Mitch, and I would even say more than Cutler. I thought that this was the guy. This was going to be the moment we finally broke the QB curse. And for many reasons, both the Bears' fault and Justin Fields, it didn't work out. I mean, we can debate back and forth time and time again what happened. I mean, the circumstances were never good for Justin Fields. Year one, lame duck, old expensive roster. Year two, complete teardown. You didn't have a line, you didn't have weapons. Year three, you had a better team. Your offensive coordinator wasn't calling great plays off script. And you still had some moments where your targets let you down in big moments, but there were also times when Justin Fields had a chance to take some steps and we didn't see it. I think it was obvious last year that the Bears were looking for a certain type of quarterback, a pocket type passer. They tried to make Justin Fields into the guy they wanted to see if it was. That peg didn't fit into the hole. So they said, okay, we're going to get our guy. We're going to clear away and we're going to get our guy. This trade was never about compensation, clearly, for multiple reasons, never about compensation. It was all about clearing the way for Caleb Williams. And it's going to be Caleb Williams. That you can talk and debate, oh, trade down a spot to get Drake May or whatever, Penix. No, it's Caleb Williams. They're taking Caleb Williams with the number one pick. It's like Connor Bedard and the Blackhawks. We know what's going to happen.
Yeah. I thought I had several thoughts about all of this, and of course, I've had just a tumultuous off season about the Chicago Bears. I've gone everywhere from being I'm done. I don't want to talk about it to this is the only thing on my mind. Sleepless
Yep.
nights, it's being a Bears fan, and
Yep.
I understand the cynical fan of here we go again. I understand it. I understand the field stands of he never got his fair shot here. I understand that. I also understand the people that are like he wasn't the guy. We got to move on. there's just so many different sides of this, and
It's complicated. It's not all black and
Oh
white.
yeah.
right, yeah,
It's not a linear decision that they had.
No.
most it's one of the most divided times I've ever been noticed Bears fandom. It's been so long of you're either a Caleb guy or a Justin guy, and you can't be both.
Right.
It's been you're either a believer of the future or you're cynical and you're just gonna die unhappy, and you can't be both.
Exactly.
A blend of everything. I have had
Mhm.
every single emotion from thank God it's over to Justin got screwed to the Bears got screwed to I've gone through it all, and nothing is wrong. There's no wrong feeling to have right now because Justin Fields never got a fair shot. Justin Fields also didn't do enough to prove that he was the guy.
Yep.
This is not that what Ryan Poles took the job that he took. So some of this is on his hands but also he did not draft Justin Fields.
Nope.
He now get his
Right.
first chance. The guy before him had 3 chances, or however many chances he had. He now gets his first shot at his quarterback. And the moves that we've seen him make thus far
Oh
have
yeah.
been vastly improved from what we've seen in the past of other people do. So I'm giving Poles every benefit of the doubt. I'm even giving Eberflus the benefit of the doubt here. Ever since he got his haircut and he's looking fly as hell, do whatever you want, buddy.
He looks like a different person.
He does look like a different person. It looks pretty good. I'm not he
does.
looks good.
It does.
It's starting to make sense. I was reading Brad Briggs, and he was talking about how Eberflus and Poles took out Caleb Williams and some of his USC teammates to this high-profile club in Los Angeles on Monday night. I'm like, now Flus's haircut and beard makes sense because he's whining and dining with the elites.
Right. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. I just, I think it's whatever opinion that you have. I don't think anybody should get mad at anybody else for the feelings that they have or opinions they have about the Chicago Bears right now, because nobody's wrong and nobody's right.
Well,
We are just a very confused and pissed and sad fan base
And desperate.
and nobody has ever experienced this. The Bears have never had the number 1 pick when it's for sure this is the number 1 pick. This is historic. It's never happened. So we just got to roll with it. They're going to take Caleb. We'll talk about eventually what they're going to do with the 9th pick, to trade it, keep it, do whatever. But it's just nice. It's just a nice relief that we know it's Caleb and we don't have to worry about that anymore. It is what it is.
oh yeah.
Let's just go forward.
Oh, yeah. And I will say there are actually 2 wrong takes that I've seen in the aftermath of the Justin Fields trade.
Okay.
If you're one of these people that are going on social media and saying Caleb Williams has to be Patrick Mahomes next season in order for this trade to work,
Yeah.
do not hit send on that tweet. First of all, Patrick Mahomes wasn't Patrick Mahomes in his rookie season. He sat his entire rookie season.
Right. Yeah.
Had he played his rookie season, we likely would have seen some degree of struggles from him before he turned into the MVP he was in year 2. And to that end, the Bears are not doing a reset. When I texted my uncle about the Justin Fields trade, he's like, "Oh, same old Bears, just resetting again." This is not a reset. The Bears are going with who they think is the better quarterback, not only for next season, but for the next 10 seasons. The Bears are expecting to win, and they're expecting to do so with Caleb Williams right away.
Yeah, you
That's
don't make
true.
the moves that they made. Go get Keenan Allen,
Mhm.
re-sign Jalen. You don't do all these little pieces. I shouldn't even say little pieces. These are big moves.
Big pieces.
DeAndre
Yeah.
Swift, they're doing crazy good things.
Yeah.
He wants to win, and he wants to win fast. So
Yeah.
I will say
they're-
that's what added to my sadness for Justin, because here we are getting the notifications
Yeah.
like, "Oh, Keenan Allen is here. Oh, DeAndre
Yeah.
Swift is here."
no,
So,
it sucks. It sucks.
Yeah, and you know Justin was probably getting those notifications like, now you guys are going to build around the quarterback position.
But you know what? I bet you he had a conversation with Ryan Poles.
Oh yeah.
And Ryan Poles was like, "This does suck, and I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah.
But I got to do my job." But I do think there is truth to the Bears getting multiple offers and taking those offers to Justin and saying, "Where do you want to go play football?"
They
Oh,
did
for
right
sure.
by
And
him.
Yeah.
yeah, and I'm totally fine by unless somebody else was offering like a first or second round pick, then I'll be
Right.
like, Poles, you moron.
Yeah,
But
I don't think
I
so,
could
though.
I could
No.
see it being like it's between a fifth, a sixth, a next year's fourth, like,
Right.
and letting Justin do that. I believe that, and I would hope that that's what he did, and I hope that Justin gets to go where he wants to because he could be the starter in Pittsburgh at some point.
Yeah.
I know they keep saying that it's Russell Wilson, but he's a lot better than
Oh,
Kenny Pickett. He's a lot better than Mitch Trubisky. He's a lot better than Mason Rudolph. He played better last year than Russell Wilson did. So who's like they can say Russell Wilson's the starter all he wants, but Justin Fields might win the starting job in Pittsburgh.
yeah. And I heard Schefter today talk about there's a chance that he might even do it in training camp. And if that happens, that the Steelers would just release Russell Wilson.
Yeah. I mean, what do they care? Like
No.
the Broncos are gonna pay him to play football wherever he does
Right.
or doesn't. So
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't have the
Um,
financial commitment, so
right. Yeah, exactly. So that's what I had on the Bears. Do you guys have any more thoughts on the Bears?
well, I do want to say one thing is today we had the pro day with Caleb Williams, and
Sure.
there's been a lot of footage shown, and that kid can throw. I mean, that
Yeah.
kid can throw,
Yeah.
and I see the mechanics that he has, and they're smooth and they're effortless. Like it looks like he's just kind of tapping his arm and it's just a rocket of a pass. And there was one play where he was doing some play action and just a little side, just a little flick, and it's just this perfect dime for like 25, 30 yards, whatever it was. I'd have to go back and look at the actual footage. But listen, that's not going to just automatically translate into NFL play because it's much different in the NFL versus college, and there's no shoehorn guarantee with anybody you draft. But I mean, you just look at the raw abilities and you say, wow, that is pretty good. And I think it's very obvious to me that not only are the Bears going to be taking Caleb Williams, but that Caleb Williams is going to embrace Chicago. He's not going to go there and be like, "Oh, I hate it here. I don't want to be here. What is this? This." Like, no, the old Colin Cowherd takes like that stuff is just hogwash and just narratives that people like to start. So, I think that as we go into this new era, see, look right here. Look at this
Yeah.
deep pass.
Yeah.
It's got an arm on him.
The
Oh,
Bears
yeah.
go 3 or 4 games in between seeing a throw like this on the field.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, it's true. It really is true, and I
Jake
think that
Cutler, when was the last time we've seen this happen multiple times in a game?
the last time I could think of was Justin Fields against the Packers. You remember that game at home? He hit Equanimous St. Brown and N'Keal Harry.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the last
Yeah,
time I could
yeah,
think. The
yeah.
other one I could think of was his first win in the NFL. It was a game against the Lions, 2021. He hit
Oh,
Darnell
yeah. He
Mooney
had
with the
big
deep
throw after big
pass.
throw. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. He hit
Yeah.
Darnell Mooney. Who was the other? He hit another one in a really tight window. Oh, was it Allen Robinson?
No, it was I'm not gonna think of it who it was. I'm not.
There were a lot
no.
of no-name receivers
Yeah,
at the beginning of his career.
Yeah. Hey, those of you watching, if you have any Justin Fields thoughts or anything, throw it in the comments on the YouTubes or the Twitters or something. Let us
Yeah,
know
and
what you think.
just to piggy off what Alex said, I mean, when we see Caleb Williams tape, of course, the wild plays are what sticks out. They jump off the screen. But you go to his tapes for the wild plays, you stay for his ability to play on time.
Yeah.
There's been so much of this narrative of Caleb Williams holds the ball too long. He doesn't know how to play within the pocket when it's actually the reverse. Caleb Williams is actually phenomenal in the pocket. A lot of that is because of what Alex was saying. His mechanics are just so effortless. With a flick of the wrist, he can get the ball out. I think we're going to see that, especially next season in his rookie season. I think the Bears are going to be playing a little bit more of a ball control offense, lean on DeAndre Swift as Williams gets used to the NFL lifestyle. But
Mhm.
I
once it
can't
gets
think of
unlocked,
anybody better, you know?
yeah, once it gets unlocked, it's gonna be fun to watch. And honestly, we saw the Bears embrace begin at the pro day when he dapped up Keenan Allen,
Yeah.
and
Keenan Allen
that
all in
was
Bears gear. That
yeah,
was
that was
awesome.
a sight to see. And they said on the radio that Keenan Allen will pretty much be like the DeMar DeRozan of this Bears team. And seeing Keenan Allen on the sidelines reminded me of when DeRozan went to Illinois for Io's jersey
For Io's
retirement
thing.
ceremony.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, okay, we're rolling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's not
Yeah.
only an elite future Hall of Fame player, that's an elite teammate right
Yeah.
there. And you're adding more than just a guy on the field. You're adding a guy to the locker room and the culture. And that's really important, especially to a guy like Ryan Poles who values that kind of thing. So, I mean, let's take a moment to thank the good Lord that the Chargers are in cap hell right now. So,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
that's why this happened. They asked Keenan Allen, hey, you want to take a pay cut? Nope, not taking a pay cut. I don't want to leave here, but I'm not taking a pay cut. Then, all right, we got to ship you off. And, you know, he was presented with a few options, came to Chicago. Here he is, him and DJ Moore. I mean,
Yeah.
the only time I could think of a wide receiver duo as good as this was Alshon and Marshall.
Yeah.
And that didn't
Yeah.
even last that long. This might not
No.
even last that long, but if you could get 2-3 years out of this, if you extend him after this year for like 2 more years, if you get 3 years of DJ Moore and Keenan Allen, yeah,
Oh yeah.
it's pretty good.
No.
Hell yes. Yeah. And just to wrap it up here, I would say too, this is all good. Like these are good
Oh, yeah.
things happening. But let's also remember Caleb Williams is going to be a rookie in the National Football League next year.
Exactly.
Let's be patient. Let's be patient.
And
I
that's what
know
was
I
getting
know
at.
it's
Yeah.
been super sucky to get here, but even if it's a like 8-9 season next year or 9-8, like on the like and maybe making a wild card, like that's great. That's awesome. But I don't think that this defense is going to let the Bears fall too far out of contention, which is nice. So
I hope. I hope.
100%.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I truly believe we have already experienced rock bottom of Bears fandom. And if it's not, I hope I just walk away from the game because I
No
can't
kidding.
take any worse than it was.
No kidding. No kidding. I mean, 2022, and I'll say this about Justin Fields too. 2022 was the bottoming out year, right? That's the
Mhm.
flat out tank year. You only won 3 games. But you know what? Justin Fields, to his credit, I enjoyed watching that season
Oh, yeah.
because of him. We
he
knew
was
what was going
special.
on. Like, normally, if the Bears lose 13, 14 games, we're in agony city. But you know what? Like, in this case, we're like, listen, Ryan Poles is tearing everything down. We understand what's happening. But when Justin Fields showed those flashes of greatness, and I say flashes of greatness, whether they were the crazy runs or the occasional deep ball, like some of those touchdown throws in his career are really, really damn good. We can't forget
Yeah.
that.
And
yeah.
some of those runs.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
they were
Yeah.
electric, and watching him do that, like, go back, like, the Miami game was exciting, even though it was a loss. The Lions game was a heartbreaking loss, but there was a lot of excitement there. The game against the Eagles, remember they were in that game the entire time? Like, there were
Yeah.
a lot of
Whole
fun,
time.
competitive games that
Yeah.
The
year, even
Cowboys
though they
game,
didn't win a lot. Yeah, those were fun to watch. That
Yeah, they
wasn't
did
like
not
other years.
have the worst point differential that year. Like I
No.
mean
Right.
they were
Yeah.
easily the worst team, but they were close. So
Yeah.
that was rock bottom. I mean, this past year, like I'd say a nice hybrid of the year before and last year where I hope that was rock bottom because I can't take much worse than that. So
Yeah,
Same.
yeah.
let's just hope we're on the up, and I think Caleb's going to take us up. So
I think so. Yep.
yeah, Bears.
We're
Bears.
back.
All right, before we get to the Cubs, we got to talk about Shohei Ohtani.
Crazy.
This is getting insane. So if you have not experienced the internet in the last 2 hours or so,
You've missed a lot.
Shohei Ohtani's interpreter, I'm not going to even pretend to pronounce his name. Shohei Ohtani's interpreter has been fired by the Dodgers and Shohei for reportedly stealing a bunch of Shohei's money to pay gambling debts. That was the initial one. Then it turned into Shohei gave the money to the people that were owed the money because he loved his interpreter so much and he promised to get better. Then it came out Shohei had no idea any of this was happening. And now the internet is swirling of Shohei's the one with the gambling problem. And the interpreter was the sacrificial lamb. I like this is getting juicy real quick.
Remember the Michael Jordan gambling rumors? I mean, those are stuff of legend, you know?
Yeah. And so wow. I don't even know what to think because I would not expect Shohei to be that guy, but how do we know now? How do we know?
Thing.
Everyone's got their demons.
You know, in Dark Knight Rises, when Bane is on the plane and he's talking to one of his colleagues or his criminal cohorts, and he looks at him, he's like, "They expect one of us in the wreckage, brother."
I knew exactly what you were going to say. I knew exactly what you were going to say.
Yeah. I mean, was that Shohei in this case? I mean, who knows? Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, his haircut is already criminal. I'll give him that. But I don't know what to believe or think right now because, again, this happened 2 hours ago. But it's also worth mentioning that there is a stipulation in Shohei Ohtani's contract that if anybody of the Dodgers staff, including his interpreter, are fired, he can opt out of the contract at any given moment.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Now, the way that this originally shaped out would lead me to believe that Shohei would also want this dude fired for stealing his money.
Because they mentioned his lawyers. They mentioned his lawyers in the first initial report.
Yeah, but is there a nullification of some sort in the contract of something like this happening? Because this is wild.
It's going down so fast. I'm trying to keep up with it.
And I don't think we're done, boys. I don't think this is done.
No, this is a tip of the iceberg for sure. So, stay tuned because who knows what's going to come of it. And even if it's not Shohei directly, I mean, we're talking about the Angels organization who has a check would pass. So, who knows what's going on? But I do know one thing. You guys might have missed it. Opening day was this morning at 5 a.m. in Korea. I guarantee you ratings will be up tomorrow for game 2 of that series after all of this coming out.
Did you guys watch this morning?
I was at the gym. Yeah,
I caught like third inning on.
Yeah.
It was good to see baseball back. Weird environment in Korea, I will say.
As Alex can attest to you, I'm usually up like posting in our Cubby's Crib channel by like 4 or 5. So I was up, I was at the gym, but it was cool to have live sports on at the gym as opposed to just like a montage of like Sports Center highlights.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's good to watch something. It's good to watch, baseball that actually counts.
Right.
I woke up for work after it all. So, I work the typical, white collar hours every, 5 days a week. So I woke up after that. But I saw the highlight of the ground ball literally going through
through the glove.
Like literally right through it. I'm like, whoa, is that like
sucks.
or something?
Yeah, that sucks.
Yeah.
One thing here from Bob Nightingale on the Twitters. He said that Shohei's interpreter was extremely well liked by the Angels organization and has been really friendly with the Dodgers this spring. So that's just more. It's just more feeding more into like, is he covering this up or what is happening?
Yeah, I mean, hey, sometimes, especially if you're Shohei, if you're MLB, you might just need that fall guy, but who knows?
Yeah. So we're gonna keep a super close eye on, on this because, I gotta know. I just gotta know.
Oh yeah,
a lot of people want to know. I mean, what a weird saga this has been since the offseason.
Really, since he signed with the Dodgers.
Oh
because he said he
didn't.
didn't. He said he wanted everything to be a secret, and the Dodgers were wide open about talking to him, and he still signs with them. And now this stuff, He wouldn't tell us his dog's name. Apparently, he married a Japanese basketball player. Like,
and
what
that's
the
what I was
hell?
gonna say. Like his marriage announcement too was so strange, and with him being on the Dodgers, I think we're finally starting to see the aura that is Shohei Ohtani. Because when you're
It's
on the
something.
Angels, no one's covering the Angels at the national level. You can go about your business like you were, but now that you're on the Dodgers, it's been a lot of like, okay.
Can you imagine if
But
he married Taylor Swift?
Cameras are in your face.
I will say though, for as crazy as it seems, I also saw an interview he did last night with Harold Reynolds, Mookie Betts, and Freddie Freeman, and he just seemed like one of the guys. It was like, so that's pretty cool. But yeah, it's wild. So
Maybe he
yeah,
really didn't know about this.
Maybe.
I don't know.
Who
I don't know,
knows?
man.
yeah,
Of course, if I had that much money, I wouldn't know where all of it's going.
Yeah.
yeah.
Who
I
cares at
mean,
that
How do you
point,
keep
you
track
know?
of all that? I mean,
Yeah,
honestly.
who cares?
yeah.
God,
Yeah.
remember the offseason too? The Blue Jays rumors. He's on a plane to Toronto. He's
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. I saw there's one girl that I follow who's like heavy into like I think she was one of the Blue Jays like kind of like what Taylor McGregor. Thank you.
no,
I
Oh
can't
yeah.
believe I
yeah,
forgot her
yeah,
name.
Yeah.
Jordan. I know her.
Yes, Jordan.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I followed her all through that. And then there was a couple weeks ago, people were talking about Shohei's marriage, and then she was like, "I can't believe you guys are freaking out about this." I was like, "Aren't you the one that was tracking a plane he wasn't even on?"
You're right.
Oh, you remember
Yeah,
that whole saga? Like they were tracking his private plane and
it
That's
wasn't
how
even
insane.
his.
And it
no, it
wasn't
wasn't.
his.
It was
Yeah.
just the
Mhm.
same type of aircraft.
Yeah. I mean, this is crazy.
Yeah,
But the internet
yeah,
stays undefeated. So
yeah.
whether it's
Oh,
Shohei Gate now
we're
or
gonna talk about this next week. 1,000% we're gonna talk about
yeah,
this next week.
100%. Yeah.
Yeah, but let's talk about our Cubbies. We got a problem coming up here, boys. Um, uh, Patrick Wisdom probably gonna go on the IL now, so that Nick Madrigal already headed that way too. Christopher Morel, our only hope at third base, maybe, except for you're not gonna like it, Jordan. I think it's Miles Mastrobuoni making the opening day roster
Oh, wait,
because
wait,
we
Yeah,
need him.
yeah.
wait. No. I thought you were going to say David Bodie.
So did I. I thought you were going to say
Yeah.
David
I
Bodie.
oh
too.
yeah,
Yeah.
okay. I know David Bodie is probably never going to play a Major League Baseball game again.
Yeah.
Everything for the weeks leading up to this was just cynical, and I'm sorry, and I will take this job more seriously.
And you know what's
I
funny?
love David Bodie, but he's never going to play in the majors again.
You know what's
probably.
funny? MLB The Show came out last Friday. So, like, I opened up the Cubs and went to the Cubs roster. I'm like, can't wait to see where Tommy's guy is at. David Bodie wasn't even on the Cubs roster. They forgot to put him in the game.
That's fine.
But
I
going
think
back to
they
what
did
you're
it on
saying,
purpose.
you probably going back to what you're saying. No, yeah, it's gonna be Miles Mastrobuoni, especially with Wisdom or Madrigal Hart.
Yeah.
He can
Which
play.
he's had a pretty good bat in the spring.
He's it's kind of like the Mike Tauchman thing. He's good in a reserved role. He can't be an everyday player.
Exactly.
But he can go in the outfield. He can go in just about any spot in the infield besides first base. So yeah, I have no issues with that.
Yeah, I
Okay.
don't either. And maybe it also it really helps open up a spot for a guy like Garrett Cooper on the roster as
Right.
well. Who
See, I
do
think they're going to go Dom Smith.
Well, that's
Two
why I wanted to
lefties?
ask you guys. That's why I wanted to ask you guys because
I think they're going to go Dom Smith. I really do.
in our writing at Cubby's Crib, we've been Garrett Cooper heavy. We feel whether it was the piece you had, Alex, Jake has done a couple, I've done a couple where Garrett Cooper seems like a perfect fit for this roster. But on this week, I've seen different roster projections and people are saying it might be Dom Smith
It's gonna
because
be
it's a lefty. And I'll be like, wow. It's not going to be both of them because both are not on the 40-man roster. I can guarantee it won't be both of them.
Right.
And that's why if Wisdom is hurt, it's probably going to be Canario as a other bat that is on the roster. But I think it should be Cooper and not Dom Smith, even though.
Yeah, I lean Cooper too. It just feels like that they're going towards Dom Smith. He's been playing a lot more lately. It feels like they're giving him more opportunities.
Too.
I'm sorry, say that one more time.
They've also kind of had an obsession with him too. It seems like they were always involved in the rumors. I just feel like Dom Smith might provide more pop, but Cooper's a better hitter. He's just a flat out better hitter.
Yeah. No, I agree with you. It just feels like they're going Dom Smith to start.
You could very well be right.
And you know what? Like the way that Craig Counsell's talking about all this, he's not going to be scared to be like, oh, well, that was wrong. Let me just fix it right quick. Like he's not going to be hard headed about any of this. He's just going to be like, okay, next man up, you know? And that's where the depth of this organization comes in handy, you know? So I think Miles Mastrobuoni makes the roster. I think it's Dom Smith. I would love to see Alexander Canario make it. I think he would be great coming off the bench 6th, 7th inning because he proved that he could do that at the end of last season.
Right.
That would be so cool for him. And for him to make the opening day roster, I wrote about it a couple weeks ago, actually, on Sports Mockery, that I thought that he had a chance of making the opening day roster. And of course it came at Patrick Wisdom's downfall, but it'd be pretty cool. I like the bat. I was he was in some trade rumors this offseason too. And I was really hoping that they weren't going to get rid of him because I really, really like him.
Yeah, I wrote about him too. And it's funny because I wrote about in the sense of had David Ross actually played him in September, I don't think it would be a question mark entering the spring in terms of him making the roster. I think he would have entered spring training like, oh, we saw what he did in September. He's on the roster. But because of just that limited sample size he has, I think that's why we're in this question mark period. But to your point, like we've been saying with Wisdom out, I think he's probably a good chance to be on there.
Yeah. Jordan, let's talk about the pitching rotation because you and I were talking before we went live. You're not feeling it.
Yeah, I'm not. Can they be a good rotation? Yeah, they can be a good rotation. Good rotation will probably even win you the National League Central. It won't win you anything in the postseason. And it's so crazy because like individually, I'm a huge fan of Ibanaga. I think he's going to be a perfect addition to the rotation. I do think Justin Seal, he might regress a little bit, but he is still going to be a top of the rotation starter. But the issue is whether it's Jamison Tyon's back, whether it's Kyle Hendricks, just ineffectiveness against teams that can take them deep like the Atlanta Braves. And Jordan Wicks, I think he's going to be good, but we saw with Hayden Wesneski that there's going to be a regression in the first full season. I just don't think they have a postseason rotation, and that's just what scares me.
I agree. I 100% agree. You literally just summed up my same exact thoughts. I mean, honestly, because Justin Steele, I still think he's going to be very good this year. Is it going to be as good as last year? I just don't know.
Right.
You know, Imanaga is going to have his growing pains too. I really like him. I think he's a good addition, but he's going to have his growing pains too. His first pitching years here in the Major League Baseball in the States. And Kyle Hendricks, who I am just one of the biggest fans of. We saw, and this is just spring training, I know, but last night's game against the Diamondbacks was a good example of what can happen with Kyle Hendricks, where the first time through the order, he mows him down.
Yeah.
And then they know next time around, wait back. And when they wait back and they get that pitch, they crush it. And when you have a finesse pitcher that doesn't have velocity or stuff, so to speak, you don't have much room for error. And there are even games where you're executing fine, but if you're allowing the ball to be put in play, we've seen this too with Kyle Hendricks, where you're like, he has one of those starts where he's doing everything right, but that weak contact, guess what? It's just finding that hole under the hole in short, or it's just blooping and finding grass. That's going to happen when you allow the ball to be put in play, whether it's hard hit, soft hit. Hits are going to you're going to hit the ball hard one time and getting out. You're going to hit the ball soft and get fooled, and yet you're still going to get on. That's just the odds of baseball right then and there. So, you know, you look back at the rotations we had when we were contending for a World Series. You had John Lester at the top. You had an in-prime Jake Arrieta at the top. That's a duo this team doesn't quite have. That's just the reality of it.
Yeah, agreed.
I will say too, I think Shota is gonna start really hot because
That's true.
I
Yeah.
think it's gonna have a lot to do with the weather and it being
Yes.
so cold. The
Mhm.
movement on his stuff is just electric. And if he can force those flyouts early, like he's prone to, they're not gonna fly out of the yard this early in the season.
Yes.
Right.
April, May, going into June, I think he's gonna do great. He'll need to make an adjustment when the weather turns.
Once the
Right.
4th of July comes around.
If he can make that adjustment and surprise us all, that would be great. But I expect him to struggle a little bit when we get into the summer because he's going to have to learn a completely new way to pitch at Wrigley Field
Oh
because
yeah.
it is unlike anywhere else. Like San Francisco deals with cold winds and stuff. There's a couple other places where you deal with some heavy gusts and stuff, but nothing is as finicky as at Wrigley as Wrigley Field. Wind in, wind out, going this way, going that way. I think it's going to be very, very interesting to see because he's going to have to make. He already had to make an adjustment from the way to pitch in Japan to pitch here, going from Arizona to Chicago in April, going
Yeah.
from cold spring to very hot summers where fly balls can be problems. He's going to have to make that adjustment.
And
There's a cool,
hopefully,
Yeah.
the grip on the ball isn't affected during the cold weather.
Right.
definitely. Got a question here. Do y'all think Cade Horton makes an impact early on in this season? I don't think early, but I think eventually this season, yes.
Agreed.
Yeah.
I share that sentiment. Yep.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think
So
he'll come up. Just I
Yeah.
don't know when.
So fun fact, Jed was actually pushing for Horton to come up last September as a weapon out of the bullpen. So obviously I think Carter talked him out of that move. I all this to say that I do think this season, assuming the first half goes well, Cade Horton will be a factor on the pitching staff in the second half of the season, whether that's coming out of the bullpen, kind of like, wasn't it Chris Sale that made his debut first as like a reliever before the Sox turned
Yes.
him into a starter? I'm wondering if that's kind of what the Cubs have in mind for the second half of the season. You bring up Horton as that bullpen ace. He gives you 2-3 innings of swing and miss stuff, and then we see towards the end of this season, entering next season, him trend towards being towards the top of the Cubs rotation.
Yeah. No, I like that plan. That sounds great.
Even better with Orton. Bring Kyle Orton to
Yeah,
pitch.
but
All right.
yeah, Orton, yeah.
Yeah. Why not? All right, boys. Well, you want to make a bracket?
Yeah.
How about it? Huh?
Just as long as I don't have to watch Virginia again. My God.
Hang on, let me fix this for a minute. Yeah, that was bad. And I'm gonna be honest. I need to make I just need to admit something here.
Oh.
I haven't been paying great attention to
Same.
college
Yeah,
basketball
I
this
can't call
season.
myself the
I've been a
biggest
bad
expert
fan,
either.
and I've also made an executive decision. I'm probably not going to bet that much as I
No,
normally do.
yeah.
I'm normally a gambling guy when it comes to this. I usually take the day off. I don't. I'm still going to take some time and sit and watch some basketball. My Spartans are in it, so they kick off the tournament tomorrow morning. So I'm going to be watching that. But I think I'm going to save myself from losing all of my money. And just gonna sit and enjoy some basketball, you know.
Yeah.
Good plan.
Anywho,
Good plan.
let's build a bracket here, boys, and then we'll post it and see how good we do.
It should be fun. I've watched a grand total of maybe 20 minutes of college basketball this season.
Oh yeah,
So let's
all
get
right.
to it.
UConn or Stetson? UConn. Everybody.
UConn.
All right. Hometown boys.
I have that feeling about Northwestern this game. Yeah.
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 Yeah, it feels good. San Diego State feels good, obviously, but this is a 5-12 that there's usually always an upset.
Yeah.
I think I'd go San Diego State.
Me too.
Yeah.
Okay.
I say so.
All right. Oops. All right. Auburn, Yale. Auburn won the SEC championship. I can tell you that.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna say Yale, just to have some spice.
Ooh.
Oh God. So I have to be the tiebreaker.
Yes, sir.
I mean, Yale would be cool, but I think Auburn is just on a
Makes
heater
sense.
right now. Yeah. BYU probably feels like the better bet. This is a word that I should know how to say, and I don't. Duquesne. That's it. It's Duquesne.
There you
It's
go.
not Nukunts or whatever. It's Duquesne.
Duquesne.
Do we like them or BYU?
Spicy. Let's go to Duquesne.
Duquesne.
Yeah, I'll go with Duquesne. Yeah.
No, we don't want statistics. Morehead State, right?
Illinois.
Alex?
Illinois.
Oh,
yeah.
are you sure?
I'm
Yeah.
positive. If we
you
lose
sure?
this game, I will never watch Illinois again.
Put that down. Remember that. If they lose, he's never watching Illinois again. All right, Washington State and Drake.
I like the Drake.
I'll do Drake.
I'm down.
Yeah.
I'm down with Drake. Iowa State, South Dakota State. Iowa State's good.
Yeah.
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 Iowa State.
All right. Should we keep going down, or you just want to finish this part?
Yeah,
of the
let's just
bracket?
finish it.
All right. I think UConn is just a
Yes.
Same.
Yes.
UConn.
You know, this is a good matchup right here. San Diego State and
Yeah.
Auburn.
My vote's for San Diego.
I think I would go with.
all right.
I was gonna go with Auburn, but no, San Diego State it is.
Okay. That all three of us said San Diego State. Guaranteed.
Probably be Auburn. Yeah.
Guaranteed Auburn. All right, Duquesne and Illinois.
Gotta go.
What if they lose this one?
It's a wrap.
I'll be disgruntled, but not quite to the level as round one.
Okay. All right, Drake, Iowa State. Do we have some Cinderella in Drake?
Iowa State.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, UConn and San Diego State. UConn just looks like they're gonna do it again,
Yep.
right?
Yes.
Illinois, Iowa State. This is a good game.
I'm probably gonna take Iowa State at this point.
Yeah, same.
Man, we're going real chalk here. UConn.
Yeah. UConn
Yeah.
just looks good.
All right. Let's go over here. Houston. Is that Longwood? Yeah. Houston wins, right?
Yeah, of
Houston.
course.
Okay. Nebraska and Texas A&M. I kind of like Nebraska.
I like Nebraska.
Yeah.
Same.
All right. If anybody has any recommendations in the chat too, by all means, throw them out to us. Wisconsin and JMU. This is a 5-12. JMU being Wisconsin.
Yeah.
I would like JMU because I despise Wisconsin.
Yeah, let's go
same.
JMU.
Let's go JMU. Duke, Vermont.
Duke.
Yeah.
Texas Tech and NC State. Remember, NC State had that fun run in the ACC tournament.
I'm going NC State here.
Yeah, I kind of like it.
Yeah.
I kind of like it. Yeah. Kentucky and Oakland. Kentucky is
Kentucky.
They're,
I like Kentucky to go on a run.
Yeah.
I made another bracket. I don't want to influence anybody here, but I made another bracket and I have them winning it all.
Okay.
Florida and the play-in that I believe is happening at this moment. Oh no, Boise beat Colorado, I guess.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. Florida's winning, right?
Yeah.
Probably.
Florida.
Yeah. Okay. Marquette, Western Kentucky. I think
Marquette.
I think Marquette is really good.
Yep.
All right. Houston, Nebraska.
Tempted to go upset.
Yeah.
I kind of am too. I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah. Let's go with it.
I feel a little. I feel something happening. You know.
Yeah.
Nebraska.
Yeah.
All right. JMU and Duke. Man, Duke losing would be fun.
It would be fun, but I don't think it's gonna happen.
Yeah, it's a beat Duke. Yeah.
All right, fine. NC State, Kentucky.
Kentucky.
Yeah. And then Florida, Marquette.
Florida.
Yeah.
I think so.
Let's see.
Wow. Okay. All right. Let's do it. Okay. Nebraska and Duke.
Duke.
Oh, you're just flying with Duke.
It's just I can't go against them I don't like Duke, but
all right, we got an SEC matchup here in the Sweet 16. Kentucky and Florida.
Kentucky.
Yeah.
Kentucky, yeah.
All right, Kentucky, Duke for the right at the Final Four.
This is where I'll go. I like Kentucky going deep.
I like Kentucky a lot.
Yeah.
All right. Let's go to the bottom. We're going to the West. North Carolina and Wagner. Yep. Let's just go ahead here.
Yep.
I will stay out of this one because I am biased.
I kind of want to lean towards Michigan State, but that's
same. I'll go with the Spartans too.
Okay, just give me this one because we know. We'll just go ahead and do that. Okay,
Yes.
I get it.
Yes.
All right, I get it. I know. All right, St. Mary's and Grand Canyon. I kind of want to go Grand Canyon just for funsies.
That'd be fun. Let's go with it.
Mhm.
All right, Alabama and Charleston. Alabama's fast.
Alabama.
Yeah, Alabama.
Clemson, New Mexico State, or is that New Mexico? Doesn't matter. I like New Mexico because I think the ACC was very down this year.
I kind of like Clemson, but I wouldn't go against that pick. Jordan, you're the tiebreaker.
I'll go with Clemson.
Clemson. All right. There we go. Baylor, Colgate. Yeah.
Baylor,
I think Baylor's going to win by a lot. Dayton, Nevada.
Give me Nevada.
Nevada
Why
would
not?
be fun.
Why not? Arizona and Long Beach. Is that what that is? Yeah, Long
Yep.
Beach.
Long Beach, yep. I'll go Arizona.
Okay, yeah,
Same,
Arizona. Yeah. All right, North Carolina, whatever. Grand Canyon and Alabama. I still think Alabama is just
Alabama.
fast. Yeah.
I'm going to say Alabama, and then Alabama's going to lose to North Carolina.
That's fair.
Yeah. I think so.
Okay. Clemson, Baylor, Nevada, Arizona. Baylor, Arizona.
Yeah.
I can see that. Yeah.
What do we like here? I kind of like Arizona.
I kind of like Baylor.
Okay.
Yeah, see, I like Baylor too.
All right, Baylor it is. 2 out of 3. This is great having a 3-man show because
Right?
we can never tie.
Yeah.
All right, I'm just going to go ahead and put Purdue and hope that they don't do what they did. Utah State and TCU.
Give me TCU.
See, I was going to go Utah State.
I was kind of leaning Utah State too. I'm
All
sorry.
All right.
Okay.
All right.
Gonzaga, McNeese.
Gonzaga.
Gonzaga. Kansas, Samford. Kansas has a bunch of guys out, but I think they get past Samford here.
Yeah.
South Carolina, Oregon. SEC was really good this year. I don't know a lot about the Pac-12.
Yeah, I'll go South Carolina.
South Carolina's fine.
All right. Creighton, Akron. I think Creighton's really good.
Yeah.
Yep.
Texas, Colorado State.
Texas,
Yeah,
yeah.
Texas. Yeah.
And then Tennessee.
And then Tennessee.
Yep.
Texas, Tennessee. That's a fun little game right there.
That'd be
Battle
fun.
of the Orange.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
I'll go Tennessee.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. All right. South Carolina, Creighton.
South Carolina.
South Carolina. Yeah, let's go South Carolina.
Why not? Okay. And then who do you like? Ooh, another SEC in the Sweet 16.
I'm probably going to stick with Tennessee.
Yeah, I think I am
I would
too.
say Tennessee in that matchup.
Yeah. All right. Purdue, Utah State. I would love Utah State here.
It would be fun though, but
their history of choking lately is kind of,
well, here's the thing: it's when they don't have Big Ten officials saving their butts.
That's true.
I kind of want to go Utah.
Let's go Utah. Let's have some fun.
Let's get crazy.
I say Gonzaga.
I like it. Yeah, and then can the magic continue for one more round for Utah State?
No,
I think Gonzaga would win that one.
Right. Yeah, that's fair. All right, here we go. We need North Carolina and Baylor.
North Carolina.
Same.
Yeah, probably. Gonzaga, Tennessee.
I kind of want to go Gonzaga.
I do a little bit too. Where are you at, Jordan?
Gonzaga too. Yeah.
All right.
So that means it's a
unanimous decision.
Okay. So we have 2 1s, a 3, and a 5. UConn, North Carolina. This would be a great Final Four game.
So much fun.
I want to go UConn.
Yeah, I think UConn's just too good.
But yeah, so UConn, yeah.
All right,
it's a hell of a matchup.
Yeah, it is. Kentucky, Gonzaga.
I really like Kentucky.
I do
like
too.
Gonzaga.
I like Gonzaga too. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. What do you want me to do? Because I'm picking Kentucky.
I say let's go Gonzaga.
Yeah, I like Gonzaga.
Why not? Why not?
All right, UConn, Gonzaga for the title.
I can't wait for this bracket to be so wrong within the first.
So bad. Okay, but if we win $1 million, we'll split it 3 ways.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, UConn, Gonzaga.
UConn.
I think we have to, right?
Yeah.
I got UConn winning in at least one of my other brackets.
All right. Everybody pick a number that they think. What is this? Total combined points in the game. The 3 of us will pick a number, and then I'll average them out, and that'll be our pick.
Okay.
I'm going to say 164.
I'll go.
What about you guys?
Go 152.
Okay.
157.
157. All right. And then we're going to divide that by 2. All right. So we're going to say 158. That's the average.
Okay.
All right.
158 for the tiebreaker. I don't know if we win a car. How do we do that?
I'll have it Tuesdays and
Create a
Wednesdays.
schedule. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll have to create a schedule. All right, there we go. We might win this
Yeah.
car.
It's a nice
Okay.
looking vehicle.
Oh wait,
It
that's
is.
I don't know enough about the women's side. Give me Iowa for everything.
Yeah, I
Iowa.
was gonna say just pick
Yeah.
Iowa to win.
Yeah. All right, boys, great show. Thanks
Yeah.
everybody for listening. We had a lot of you watching today, so I appreciate it. Make sure you follow us on Twitter, and let's go through headlines. And then who's naming the podcast this week?
I think it's
I think it's
me.
Jordan.
Yeah, I think it's
Yeah.
Jordan.
All right, so I'll start with my headline for next week. I'm going to say that the roster is out for the Chicago Cubs, and the surprise of Alex Canario of making the opening day roster. I think that is an obtainable thing.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah.
All right,
I
Alex.
think so too.
Alex, what you got?
I think even though we didn't put it on our bracket, we're going to be talking about an absolute epic upset of a 1 seed.
It would be
Okay.
awesome.
I
It would
like
be
it.
awesome. I like it. Jordan?
I'm going to go with there's going to be a surprise Cubs trade within the next week. Not sure what. Feel like there might be a surprise up
What do
there.
you know?
Matt Mervis for Pete Alonso, straight up.
Could you imagine?
I don't like that little laugh you did, Jordan. You're like, ha, 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 like I totally know something.
Yeah, what do you know that we don't?
I don't know. I have to wait till next week.
I hate everything. All right. Thanks everybody for wait, what are we naming this?
We will go betting the over on Caleb Williams.
Betting the over on Caleb. That ties everything together. I love it.
That's perfect.
Yeah,
that might be our
beautiful.
that might be our best title ever.
A1. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in and watching. And we shall do it again next week.
Let's get to it.